Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Rewind That. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one and when I go live. So, the long-awaited return of The Wire is here. Yes, we did take a long break, but say less, okay? We're back. And we will be back every week. All right? So, we are finishing off before we go on to season 4. We're finishing off with the aftermath of Stringer Bell's death, and that is episode number 12 from season 3 called Mission Accomplished, guys. All right, and wow, did they wrap up a season for us? I loved how they pretty much didn't forget to let us see everybody. Even toward the end, we saw Donette crying over Stringer. All right, so let's get into it, guys. As you can see across the bottom of the screen, as usual, we see the episode quote, all right, which is "We fight on that lie," and that is from Slim Charles. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So the episode starts off with the officers, and they're on the deletion scene of Stringer. Okay, now we have this special little acronym called BNBG, which is Big Negro Big Gun. So that means that a lot of times if the witness is white, then all you're gonna get for a description is BNBG. Big Negro Big Gun. And he's talking about, oh, I don't know. I didn't see anything. All I know is that he was a big black guy. I think he was big. And he's not big. None of them dudes was big. Stringer ain't, I'm sorry, not Stringer. Omar ain't big. And freaking was Brother Muzone ain't big. So I don't know what the heck this guy was talking about, but that's the joke. BNBG. There you have that, right? What's up, Marlon? How you doing? So now we have McNulty, guys. He is sitting there silently and he's just looking so sad at Stringer's body. And he is really feeling some type of way, guys. And we also have Kima, right? And she's there and she's just kind of standing up against the wall and they're all silent, okay? And everybody is silent until Bunk comes and he sits down, he lights his cigar, and McNulty says to him, I caught him on the wire and he doesn't even know it. So String's biggest thing right now is that could have been one of the biggest busts of his life. Like in this moment right now, before we get on to anything else in the episode, this is like the biggest bust of his life. And the dude is not there to witness it. Like he couldn't bust him because why? He's dead. Okay. He's gone, guys. All right. And so he is feeling very salty about this. Not just salty, but it's almost as if he's devastated. Like if you kind of look at his face, oh, Karan, yes, I can't wait to talk about it. If you look at his face, guys, like this dude, when they kept zooming in closer and closer, it almost looked like he wanted to shed a tear. I was like, whoa, what is happening here? He was so sad. But in a way, I kind of get it because see, the thing about about McNulty is that he wanted the satisfaction would have been the look on Stringer's face, right? Like this guy that I've been chasing for so long. I can't wait to see his face when I get him. And no. And Karan, hey, yes, I'm so glad you brought that up because when they were talking, when him and Bunk was talking, when McNulty and Bunk were talking, I was looking at Stringer's body and I was just like, is he breathing? And he sure was. And I was cracking up like, yo, this freaking dude is breathing. Okay. It's so funny. Yes, he did. He acted like he was kin. All right. And that's something that Kima said later on. I'll just touch on that a tiny bit. Okay. So guys, meanwhile, while all this is going on, we got the Barksdale crew, right? They want to go to war for what happened to String. So far, they're thinking that it's Marlowe's crew who did it because that's word on the street. It's also word on the wire. All right. But Avon, he tells Slim that, he didn't die. String didn't die because of Marlo. He died over some other ish, right? And he couldn't stop it. And then he goes on to say, you know what? String was right, man. All of this warring and this and that and third, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. So he's going into this whole thing. We kind of see throughout this whole episode that Avon didn't want to be bothered. He was sad about the whole thing. He was really feeling down and he just didn't want to be bothered. He was just like, what do you want? Get out. As soon as somebody came in, what you want? Get out, blah, blah, blah. So he wouldn't see anybody but probably Slim. And then also maybe somebody like Shamrock or whatever when they came through. But other than that, he was kicking folks the heck out. But even when Shamrock came in, he was like, what you want? He just wasn't here for it. Okay. But this is also the scene where we hear what Slim Charles said. Like, he's basically saying, like, listen, this is what war is about. We're already in it. So we might as well fight. Like, even if it's a lie of that we're hearing and that String didn't die because of this crew, we already at war with them. We're going to fight on that lie. It is what it is. That's how it goes. Right. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that later. But in this scene right here, I'm just sticking to that part. But he was just kind of like on a whatever thing. He was with it, but it was like on a whatever situation. And this scene right here, he was just basically talking about how it's not worth all of this stuff, right? So now we also have McNulty and Bunk going to Stringer's apartment, and McNulty cannot believe it. Okay, like he is looking around and he's like, who the heck was I chasing all of these years? Because this is not your average criminal that he's used to, right? He got what's his name, got a freaking, when I say what's his name, I'm sorry, I'm talking about String. He got a sword collection, he got books, he's got a lot of things. He got a sophisticated looking home, okay, apartment, whatever. All right. And McNulty is just like, wow, this is definitely not who the freak I thought I was chasing. He really didn't know this man, right? And so that's another thing. I guess he's just really in a mind screw, right? His mind is screwed when it comes to Stringer at this point, right? So anyway, guys, so now we have Omar who gets Dante back. Okay, he gets him back from Brother Muzone. And Brother Muzone's like, look, I don't want to hear nothing. What's done is done, right? Like, your man's is beat up, but he's alive, okay? So just get him and get the heck out. He didn't say all that, but that's me paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, what's done is done. Get your man's and get going. And then, Dante's in there saying, listen, I tried to hold off. I tried to take it as long as I could or whatever. And so Omar is just like, yeah, just come on. Listen, we already know that clearly Dante is not built like the other lover boy. Okay, the other lover boy was tortured to death. Okay, and he didn't say a word. All right, so Omar, he did not, I guess he didn't take it out on him. He just like, whatever, just come the heck on, man. You did what you could. I guess you're soft, Anyway, so then Brandon, you saying Brandon was his old guy? Right, his old. Okay, Brandon, thank you. All right, so when he gets out, he says to him, Muzone says to Omar, he hands him a gun and he says, since this is your hometown, this is your city or whatever, I trust you to handle it properly, right? Get rid of the gun. Okay. So now, guys, we have Colvin, right? He gives McNulty a tip on Barksdale, right? So he will find sawed-off shotguns, semi-autos, and Mac 11s and all of that stuff. Like, if you play this right, this is what Colvin says, if you play this right, like, you're going to basically hit the jackpot, okay? So next we have Cuddy, and he is still working with his boys, right? In this scene, he's showing them a fight video between Patterson and Ali. And, the one dude is like, yo, Ali is whooping Patterson's this and that. Patterson is soft, blah, blah, blah. And Cuddy is trying to teach these kids a lesson. Like, he's not soft. And I wanted to bring up this other quote because I liked what he's teaching them. Cuddy says, any man still standing at the end of a round, you can't call him soft, right? And I think that's facts. I could go with that. I like that. And I like what he's teaching them. And he said, that's the rules, okay? So we are going to see what goes on with these kids later on. You do see some the big kids, and then you see some little kids. So as the story progresses, we'll see what happens to these big kids later on. All right, guys. So let me see what's next. Um, next we have oh, you know what? Before I get into that, we have Kima getting it in with some chick, guys, okay? And while she's getting it in with this chick, Cheryl is looking for her. Cheryl is calling, while she's, smooching on the girls tit. You know what? I don't want to say certain things because you never know. Anyway, while she's smooching on the girls' stuff, Cheryl is calling and the phone is just ringing out, right? And so clearly she didn't answer. And Cheryl calls McNulty, and what does McNulty do? He lies for her, just the way she used to lie for him, the way Kima used to lie for McNulty. And so it's like she really spent so much time with McNulty and then became him, right? And it's just very disappointing to see. But it's just like, all right, girl, if you don't want to be with Cheryl anymore, y'all need to just break up. Like, for real. Like, why are you wasting this girl's time? It's just annoying to me, and all of this lying and stuff. It's irking. All right. So now we got Freeman. He tells Prez Belusky that he's getting an administrative charge, right? And he could fight it and win it if he really wants to. Okay. But Prez is not so sure that being a police officer is his calling. He's like, that's the story of my life. Like, I forgot or I failed to mention that, I was a cop. I was an officer. Like, I'm always doing some screwed up stuff. So he's like, I'm not really sure that being a police officer is what I'm supposed to do. Okay. And I really appreciate him coming to that realization. Now, I will say that, listen, when he was working on the cases with the squad and everything, with Daniels and everything, he was very, very instrumental. He was very good at what he was doing. So I wouldn't necessarily say that his calling is not to be an officer. It's not to be on the streets. We already know that. It was established a while ago, but his strength is behind, right? It's behind the scenes. It's putting everything together and all that stuff, piecing stuff together. He's great at that. But, the fact that he can have any kind of chance to be outside, that's just a no. So he might as well not be a cop, right? You might as well. Because if you go on a run, it's like when I used to be an EMT, they had this rule called duty to act, right? So even if we're not on a call, and let's say we just strolling through the streets and we see an emergency, by law, we have to stop. We have to act, right? So with him, if he's out and they just went to go stop and get something to eat and they see something go on, they got to act. So with him still being a cop, knowing that he sucks on the street, he might as well not be an officer, right? Because he can't even go, while he's on duty, he can't even go outside and get lunch. Like, for real. He just can't. So I'm glad that he realizes his strengths and he understands that, his weakness is being outside on these streets, a cop with a gun. That's his weakness. And if there's any time that he's going to be in that situation where he's outside and he might have to, act and interact with civilians and criminals and all that, he might as well just quit. Okay. So now, guys, the news media, right, is all over Amsterdam. And of course, that means it's all over the news that cops have allowed drug dealing on the freaking streets. Okay. So, of course, this looks bad on the mayor. All right. And Burrell comes to him and he's like, listen, I could say this and that and the third, right? And make it look like it's all you because I came to you, I warned you, I said whatever. And you just kind of pushed me to the side and didn't listen to what I had to say. Or I could come with a story that puts it all on Colvin, right? But also, I will take the hit in exchange for you to allow me to be your commissioner for the full 5-year term. Okay. So what the heck is Roy? I think it's Mayor Royce, right? What the heck is he going to do but, say yeah, right? So now that the deal is made, guys, we're gonna now that the deal is made, the cops move in on Amsterdam, and they pretty much arrest every freaking body. I'm talking about they catching people with their pants down, booties out, like all kinds of stuff. It was actually funny to me, but it was also sad when you saw like this little kid. He looked like he was between 6 and 8 years old, just looking so adorable, and they was just pulling. I mean, come on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of sad, because there's a lot of people down here in Amsterdam, and they freaking cleaned that place the heck out, guys. All right, so let's see where else we're at. All right, so now we got Snoop, y'all, and she is lying through her freaking teeth. All right. And I was like, are you freaking serious? So before I go in on her, she out here lying, saying that Chris deleted Stringer. All right. She's saying Stringer was on his knees begging for his life. She's just tarnishing the man's name. Not to say that Stringer was great or nothing like that, but he was a big name, right, in the streets, and she making him go out, making it sound like he went out like a freaking sucker, like a punk, which we know that's not the case. Like he straight up, he did try to run. All right. I mean, why stand around and get yourself, shot up and all that? Run if you can, But when he saw he had nowhere to go, what'd he say? Get on with it then. Okay. And that was that. So in this scene, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, she is out here really doing the most, and she really came off as a lame to me. But then I had to realize, okay, at this point in time, she hasn't really solidified her name in the streets yet, right? Like she's not a part of the infamous Chris and Snoop at this point. So she's just out here telling lies, and she's not even lying on herself. She's making Chris the big guy, right? She's putting more respect on Chris's name than anything. She's not, but she's making it seem like she was there. That's what I got. Making it seem like she was there front and center and everything. So this is just corny to me. And from what I remember from watching season 4 and 5, it just doesn't fit her character from what she becomes, put it that way. Okay. But anyway, guys, that's all I got to say about that. She really played herself in this scene. And to be honest, you would think that her making all of this noise would put her in the line of fire from Marlo. But at the same time, we already saw a scene where Marlo, he got the word that it's all over town that it was him and his crew that did String. And he was like, well, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they gonna come at me, let them come. That ain't nothing. He didn't care. And Chris was like, oh, that sounds like some problems we want. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't have got her deleted because Marlo simply did not care. Okay. Sorry. What up, Little Rock and AG and God King Consciousness? All right. So let's see what else we got, guys. Let me make sure that I'm on track. Okay, so now Shamrock comes in, guys. This is what we were talking about, how he was just trying to like get out of here. We talking about Avon. Get the heck out of here, right? So Shamrock comes in to tell Avon that Salim said he got eyes on Marlo. And he's like, what? And he's like, oh, I got eyes. He's like, you want to get at him or what? Like, we got eyes on Marlo. So he's like, yeah, man, go on, But guys, also, this is on the wire as well, right? Everything that's going on is on the freaking wire as well. All right. So Slim says to everybody they need to tool up. That's what's going on the wire. Slim said everybody need to tool up. And so, Avon is like, yeah, all right, yeah, go on. Then he goes into the drawer and gets his gun, but you could just see him as Shamrock left. You just see him like he is burdened right now. His thoughts are heavy and everything. And on that note, I'm gonna get my girl up in here so she can kind of piggyback right off this, right in this scene. Okay. My girl, hey boo boo.
Well, what's Shamrock saying? We about to tool up. What? Look, I had to take it back to that decade. What we doing?
So, right in this scene, this is Shamrock coming in telling Avon that they got eyes on Marlo, right? Chris
Mm-hmm.
and Marlo. And he's like, all right, also over the wire, you can hear everybody saying, yo, um, Slim says for everybody to tool up. And
Mm-hmm.
so the cops hear everything that's going on in this freaking episode. So that's definitely bad. But what do you want to say about this scene right here? We do see Avon with his thoughts throughout this whole freaking episode, but we hardly get any dialogue from this man.
You know why we not getting no dialogue? Cause he know his man's did him dirty. He
Not
don't
yet
want to talk
though.
about it. We not talking about. I'm talking about that he had to really, like, put down his man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We coming off the heels of the
Strength.
notorious episode of Stringer Bell being taken out.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
so
so
everybody ready to tool up and
mm-hmm.
get put that work in right now because they think it's Marlowe people.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I was here for it. I wanted to see if it. We already see that. We already know that Avon's a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
So he not ready to tool up. He just want to sit here with his thoughts right now. Yo, what's up?
Right. Everybody's looking like, what's going on with you? So as you even
Yeah.
before you came, of course, we talk about the quote of the episode, which is "We fight on that lie" from Slim Charles. Like when he was talking to Slim, he said String died for some other ish that I couldn't help. I couldn't help him, and so
He was telling the truth though.
right. But even though he was telling the truth, I like Slim's response. Like, okay, that may be, but the streets is talking right now. We just gonna have to respond. Or even if it's a lie, we gonna have to respond. Like that's just
Exactly.
bottom
Like, look,
line.
if it's a lie, we gonna have to fight on that.
Exactly.
You know, Slim Charles is an underrated character in here. He's slept
Absolutely.
on, and people really overlook him. But that's the dude.
I love him.
He's like, look, if we gonna fight on the lie, we gonna fight on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just a soldier at the end of the day. He was ready to get it on and popping.
He really was. And the thing that I love about him is that he's smooth with it too. Like he's not
Mm-hmm.
really somebody that's like really, you know what I mean? Like he just kind of tell it like it is. He don't
Talk about it.
that's it. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. I know you the boss and all, but boss,
Yeah.
you know the game at the end of the day, boss. What up, Demarcus? So King Conscious said the hit on Stringer saved Clay Davis. The hit was on. All right, so let's see what else we got. Right, so guys, Johnny is found dead in a house in Amsterdam. Okay, like we saw that he asked Carver for like $5 to get on the bus or whatever. Carver was like,
Man,
"Man, get the heck out of here."
I don't need it for the bus. I got my bus money right here.
Right. It's like
Look, we knew this was like he was ready on a was self destruction. You headed for self destruction, like
mhm,
Miss Melody said, KRS One self destruction, because he was there. He was headed for self destruction.
he
He ain't
was.
care. All
No,
right.
he didn't. And I was not sad because I never liked him. I'm sorry, but and plus he had the monster. It's like he was just begging to die. He
Yeah,
really,
he was on. Look, it was nails already in that coffin booth,
it really
and this
was.
was
He
the
just needed to
look
be lowered
when
down.
he asked for the bus fare. That was the last one. Being like, all right, and here we go. Bam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now let's start digging the dirt, throwing it all over.
Exactly.
Hey, Tamika. So
Yeah.
we have that, right? So let's see where else we're at. So Coven, he meets up with Rawls. And wait a minute. Let me make sure that I'm on the right, because I look like I'm over here jacking up a little bit, child. It looks like I did kind of hold
You
on
all
a
right.
second. So
We
now
got it.
okay. Here we go. So
You got it.
Colvin meets up with Rawls, but actually I got something screwed up, because at this point, right, what's happening now is that they getting ready. He got his gun. Avon got his gun. and they're getting ready to go do what they need to do. But they go into the warehouse because before you came, we talked about the tip that Colvin gave McNulty. So now they're working towards this situation. They're staking things out, staking places out, and all that. So this is where the whole Barksdale crew goes, and they got massive weapons over here. Okay, artillery is crazy. All right, and so they're waiting, and the cops show up, but they said, listen, they in war with a whole nother crew. We can't just go up in there freaking bum rush and we're gonna get lit the freak up. That's what McNulty was saying. We're gonna get lit the heck up if we go up in there like that. So they had to knock because they was like, are we seriously knocking? I think that was Herc that said, we seriously knocking. I couldn't stand Herc, yo. When that whole
Yeah,
thing
but you know what? He had that overzealous. He's that overzealous cop where it's some sort of racial undertones, but we
Yeah,
don't really see that.
absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
but I don't know. I like this actor. I always liked him from when he was in the Bronx Tale. He was always somebody that you was like, yo, I don't like this little kid.
Mm.
From the Bronx Tale, remember, he was the one that tried to give Cologero the gun. And
Oh
Sonny smacked him in
yeah,
his
you know
face
I didn't
and sent
remember
him out of there.
because I'm like, what? He had to be mad young at that time.
Yeah, because he had hair.
Oh my god, because I'm
So
like, where was he?
everybody forgets who this the character originated from. Y'all ain't want him giving Cologero that gun. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
nah. Even Sonny was ready to smack fire out of him. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, we Herc, he was that cop. He seemed like a real particular cop back in that era.
Yeah. Yeah, and even during the time where they were taking down Amsterdam, he was like about effing time. Like he just seems like such a hater. And you kind of saw how Carver just kind of looked over at him because at the same time, remember when they were kind of at odds about it, and Carver was saying we can't go to bat for Colvin. Like as many times that he looked out for us, we can't look out for him. So he wasn't really with everything that everything that Herc was saying because even though he understood that what Colvin was doing was definitely against the law and against the rules and stuff, he still wanted to protect him. All right, so it was annoying. But anyway, so they get here, right? And they are locking these brothers up. Everybody. And people, they're all trying to take responsibility. Oh, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. They're
Yeah,
trying to
that's what I was gonna ask you. What was your thoughts on that, Miss K?
I was like,
Where they
yo,
was
they
like, nah,
really,
that ain't mine.
yeah,
That's
they was really good. I mean, they loyal. They some loyal soldiers.
yeah, but you don't we
It
dudes
didn't matter.
today, young boys today that's in the life of crime is not gonna see dudes like this
No, never.
anymore.
No.
Those days are gone.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and with social media, this really it really messed it up. This
Mm-hmm.
the classic thing about this episode was you saw them, even though he knew he was going out. I'm not gonna go too far ahead. I like the way it basically rounded itself off towards the end. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I said the same thing too. Yeah. I didn't say anything specific, but I said I like how they didn't leave anything, like they covered like almost every nook and
Yeah.
cranny. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, where it's not leaving anything to the
Yeah.
imagination like some of
Mm-hmm.
these shows do now.
Yeah, they covered everything. So, McNulty is smiling, like because he was so freaking sad about Stringer. He's
He act
smiling.
like he lost his own
Yeah.
relative with that. We talk. Look, I know we talked about it a couple of months ago, but the Wire was our baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is our baby. This is one of the things where we started talking about it on Hidden Gems that brought us closer together. So,
Mm-hmm.
this, he really thought he was like, like, I'm going to be the man. Everybody going to be talking about me. And everything went not how McNulty wanted it to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the
Absolutely.
crazy part about it.
Yes. So he also to add insult to injury to make this guy feel worse. Like he's an A wipe for this, to be in my opinion, because he had to show him who the informant was. And it was just like, really, like you just couldn't get the satisfaction. I guess it's because you getting a smiling dude like this. You getting Avon who's smiling, and he was laughing like incredulously, like, oh, like, this is, ain't this something?
I like the
So
way he
he's like,
played this part.
who, Avon
The way um
was
Avon
having,
was just like, yeah, y'all got it.
uh-huh, you couldn't cutting up, hey pretty girl, you frozen, Moochie. So I'm pretty sure she'll come back in, guys. But this dude had the smug look. He went from being sad, like you said, lost his kin, to just being so happy to be there, to bust freaking Avon, all right, because he got out. They was pissed off about that. Now it's like, yeah, well, this is a violation of parole. You ain't getting out at all, my brother. Okay, and on top of that, your man's is the one that gave you up. So, it was a daggone shame, guys. But it is what it is. It is what it is. No, we can't hear you, Moochie, and you left out. So just come right on back in, honey. So let's see where we at now, guys, because I don't want to give up. I'm sorry, I don't want to move forward. All right. So now, guys, Colvin, he meets up with, oh yeah, rest in peace. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace to is it Lance? Guys, I forgot his full name. I had it, and now all of a sudden I'm just drawing a blank. All right. The one that plays I'm sorry, the one that plays Daniels, okay? Rest in peace. Of course, this was so sad when I heard about it, and I was not happy at all. And I wanted to kind of come back and do this episode just because of the situation. But yeah, Lance Reddick. Thank you, Marlon. I know you always help me. I knew you was coming. I knew you was coming. So anyway, rest in peace to him. All right. So meanwhile, while this is going on, while he's getting arrested, Avon and the whole basically crew is getting arrested, guys. Slim is trying to call. All right. And ain't nobody picking up. Why? Because they going down. All right. And because he has eyes on Marlo and Chris. All right. And they're coming out of the tire shop. And so he's like, dag, yo, nobody's picking up. He doesn't want to move without Avon giving him the go ahead. All right. And so he's like, dag, he can't do anything because because Chris and Marlo are leaving. And so he's like, damn, I missed my shot. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I wish he didn't miss the shot, but hey, that means that we wouldn't have 2 more seasons of The Wire without this freaking dude. Okay. Anywho. So let's see what else we got, guys. So now we have Colvin, right? And he meets with Rawls and Burrell, right? And he tells them that he takes full responsibility for what happened. He don't want none of his men suffering behind this or being penalized behind this whole situation. So Rawls tells him that after his ComStat meeting, he will retire, right? And he's going out as a lieutenant. All right, you're going to go out in the lieutenant grade, and he will not go out on a major's pay. And I thought that this was very messed up. I'm just saying, like, wow, you got to do him like this. They were going to make sure that they stuck it to him some way, somehow. Okay. So this is what has to happen if he doesn't want anyone else to take the fall with him. So Burrell was like, yeah, if you don't want to be the only one to take the fall, then you're going to have to go out the way we say you go out. And Colvin is like, what? That's not the rule. That's not a part of the contract and all of this, that, and the third. And they was like, well, like this how it works. This is the part of bending over, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking whack. And I just felt like it was such a smack in the face. Like he's out of here. Why do you have to take him down a grade? Right. It was just, look, listen, and my, forgive me, But I feel like if the color was different, the outcome would have been different. Okay. They would have asked this dude to step down, yes, or to retire, and that's it. It wouldn't have been no, oh, retire at a lower grade and all of that. We're stripping you of your title. It wouldn't have been none of that. It would have just been, we're removing you, and that's that. You're going to step down. You're going to go into early retirement, and you're going to take the same pay as a major, not as no daggone lieutenant. I just thought this was freaking whack, y'all. Hey, Savannah. So, nah, this is insane. All right, guys. So now that Avon is locked up, guys, Marlo and his crew are back on the corner. All right. And unfortunately, this also means that the older boys that Cuddy is training, they're back on the corner as well. So that's kind of sad, you know. Exactly. That's kind of sad. All right. So let's see what else we have. So now during the Comstat hearing, oh my gosh, guys, I love how this is almost like a replica of the situation between Stringer Bell before he got taken out, and then this is an officer of the law, a major, right? And before he's basically getting taken out and pushed into retirement, he says almost the same freaking words. Well, get on with it, mother. Right? And I like that he said that because Rawls was trying to, you know, get under his skin and try to talk his trash. Okay. I'm gonna bring you. I'm sorry, it was some type of. He was trying to talk his trash, all right, and say something about, you know, what you had. You know, there's nothing much that you can say, huh? You know, just being real jerky about it and smug. Look at his face, just freaking being real smug about it. What you got to say about this, Lucci?
They did him dirty, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have let him walk, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
Because if he was Pinky, you know, Pinky over. Pinky would have got over. Pinky would have been out. Pinky would have been with the brain. Okay?
Right.
I'm just saying.
He would have been on a boat, relaxing, fishing.
Yes, he would have been right on a boat, chilling with his pension, full ring instead of going down a ring. I didn't like how they did him. I thought it was kind of foul. And they all right, he already fell on his sword, but they wanted him to fall on his sword and basically get beheaded. And I ain't like
that. Exactly. And they didn't like, you know what it was? It's almost like they didn't like the fact that he was willing to fall on his sword. They didn't like that. So they felt like, okay, well, since you want to take the punishment, we gonna give you, because taking the punishment is not enough. We need to give you something that you're not expecting so that you can really feel it.
Okay.
And it's just like, why you gotta be like that? I like what God King Conscious said. He said Stringer, Avon, and Colvin all fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I like how he said, well, get on with it, mother. You know, because you over here trying to, that's the thing. Like, don't try to, you know, don't try to freaking
squirm.
Yeah.
Don't try to make me squirm. Let's get on with
it, exactly. All of this is not necessary. Just do what you got to do. Come on with it now. Stop. All right. What up, Support Gaming? So here we go.
Hey, Ian, what's up, Support Gaming?
So yeah, like I said, we had the Comstat hearing, right? So we see that he's stripped of his title and all of that. Later on, we find out, you know, we had the guy that kind of stood in his place and everything. And I like how he, you know, he shook his hand and he, you know, gave him the little salute before he left. I thought that was very professional because he have nothing against him any daggone way. You know what I'm saying? So he was very professional. I love Bunny. But later on, we also saw that Burrell telling Daniels that he has been promoted to major. Okay. Which was very nice because we all know that Daniels deserves it. Key, what's up, Art Love and Young Boy? All right. So now, guys, speaking of Daniels, he takes Rhonda out in public because Marla doesn't need him to win anymore. So, first of all, you know, we saw Rhonda looking at Daniels and his wife on TV. You know, after she said her little speech or whatever, she addressed the crowd and everything. She goes and gives him a little kiss on the cheek and stuff. You know, Rhonda felt very salty, but that's what happens when you screw around with married men. You're not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he later on takes her out in public because now he's found out that Marla doesn't need him to win. But my thing is, don't you think that's still a little too soon? Like she may not need you to win, but it's kind of like
you already out here with her in public and this and
right
that.
already. So it could still be a scandal. Like y'all didn't even announce that y'all was divorced. Y'all didn't announce there was separation. Like nothing. So from one day to the next, you already out with somebody. And you know she was happy during the end when they was in, you know, getting it in and everything. She felt like, oh, he's mine now.
Oh, I'm getting all of him.
Yeah. Ugh, she get on my nerves.
Look, and you know what? We're reviewing this now, and Daniels, the person that played Daniels, is not here with us anymore. So now I'm having like a sort of nostalgia with him.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it showed him being a person of his word too. Like the only reason why I'm not dealing with you like this is because of X, Y, and Z. But soon as it was possible, look, he did put in the limelight. And I'm not even looking at the black and white thing. He was just a person of his word. You know, he was being honest. He was letting you know, look, the marriage has ran its course. But I still have an obligation to her because she was down for me. This woman held me down at my lowest moment. She held me down when all of this was going on. She held me down when everything was questionable about my integrity and stuff like that. So I like the fact that he is like that guy.
And he even said it when they was out to dinner, like this is the moment that she waited so much time for this moment and she's not even here. And you know, Rhonda, she was a little salty about that too, like no, she's not.
Shouts out to Young Boy 24. Damn, you do get a hello.
Oh my gosh.
You do get a hello, Young Boy 24. Hey, Savannah.
So,
what up, Art Love?
So here we go, guys, with this because I had to get this because I was gonna let it just slide, but it was hilarious.
Yo, I'm gonna let you. I put myself on mute.
These are all the people that was caught on the wire, right? They was heard on the wire, and you know you got Squeak over there just getting at old boy. Like I forgot his name. I don't even care, but she was getting at him like you stupid.
His
you the
name
stupidest.
Is Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard. You the stupidest guy I ever went out with and blah blah blah. And he just turned to the dude and was like, I can't wait to go to jail. I was like, who freaking says that? She's like,
well, you know, she one of them type of chicks that click her tongue when she talk too. Like Bernard, you know, like if you was doing what you was supposed to be doing, Bernard, I wouldn't even be hemmed up like this with these silver bracelets on. This is all your fault, Bernard. Bernard, like, take me to jail. Take me to jail, son. Take me to jail.
It was hilarious. I can't wait to go to jail. Like, I just need to get away from this freaking chick. Sheesh. Huh. All right, so now we also have I already said that Daniels and Rhonda. Okay, so McNulty also visits what's her name? Is it Beatrice?
Yeah, Beatrice.
Beatrice. So he visits her, right? And she tells him that I'm sorry, not she. He tells her that, you know, he completed something today, right? But the way he feels about it is because somebody said something, you know, weird to him, he says. And he says that, you know, it feels like he's been pouring everything into a glass and it kept coming out, right? Like there was a hole in the bottom or something, right? Everything came out of the bottom. And it just seems like for him, he doesn't seem fulfilled even after this big bust. Like this is a career bust, basically, right? And he still doesn't seem fulfilled. But he also did make a very good point when he said that it feels like everything that he's so good for for the job, he's bad for everything else. Like everything that makes him good for the job makes him bad for everything else. Like I'm good as a cop, I'm really good, but as a person, I freaking suck. That's what I got from it. Do you remember that scene with him and Beatrice?
Yeah, because he was telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a good husband, but
Not
he
at
a good
all.
cop. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really a great father. You
Nope.
know, he had his moments, but he's a good cop. He's
Mm,
telling the absolute truth, and
yeah.
he wants to work on that.
Yeah. Hey Inga, no, we doing this until we done. I just had to take a break because I had like 3 shows going and I couldn't fit the wire in because
Look, look,
remember
look,
I'm doing my dissertation, girl. So
look, she getting
yeah,
her doctorate, so you know we had to put the wire on the back burner.
yeah.
She ready
So
to come back, cut us
uh-huh.
some slack, and we gonna get it in on Tuesday.
That's that. I cannot wait to start episode
So,
1 for season
for season
4.
4, because this
Oh
is the
my
one we wanted to
gosh.
do.
Yes, I can't wait. So let's see where we're at now. All right. So he was, talking about that. He wants to go in and meet her kids and all of this and that. And that's that. All right. So now we also have Carcetti. And they have this hearing, and this is Burrell holding his end of the deal where he falls on the sword for Mayor Royce, right? It's Royce, right? So he falls on the sword for him, making sure that he also is the commissioner for the rest of the 5 years and blah blah blah. So he's over here making a freaking speech, Carcetti. Like, no, this is not. Look at freaking Unetta over there rolling her eyes, like, oh boy, please, And then you got Tony is looking too, like, what the heck is going on over here? So after he says his whole, it is a speech, child, and no one was expecting this. And so after he says it, everyone's clapping, and then Tony is over there like, well, it sounds like you running for something, like what the heck is up? And go ahead, what you want to say?
Look, he was on his soapbox, girl. You know he was on his soapbox, shouting up to the mountains. And then, Tony, like, yo, wait. Me and you have some sort of plan. You supposed to be backing me, mother.
Right,
You supposed to be
exactly.
my guy.
Yep.
And Netta is like, wait, hold up.
Yeah,
Wait,
she
something ain't right. Somebody trying to push me out.
Unetta is just like rolling her eyes, but
Mm-hmm.
all right,
She
guys.
was just
So,
like,
so as agreed, McNulty, he had, after the whole, the Barksdale bust and everything, Daniels wanted McNulty the heck away from his unit, his team and everything, right? So as agreed, yes, it was a good speech though, God Conscious. You are so right. It definitely was a good freaking speech. Nobody can take that away. All right. So, like I said, as agreed, McNulty, he leaves Daniel's unit. He says that he's going to the Western. Now, in this scene, it did seem like Daniels was willing to give McNulty another chance. He was like, I have to be able to trust my people and all of this. And if you'll have to promise. So before he could even finish what he has to say, McNulty was like, nope, now it's for the best. It's for the best that I go. And then he walks away. He's like, oh, it's not you, it's me and all that. So he's like, where are you going to go? And McNulty says he's going to go to the Western. Like, that's basically a good fit for him. Okay. So you want to say anything about that?
yes, I do, because you know why? He listened to the old school dude where he was like, this is the most calmest I've been. He was explaining to him how he actually likes going to work.
Mm.
And I think he was like, you know what? This might be a good look for me too. You know, I don't like the boat. I already know I'm getting kicked out of this unit.
Right.
So you know what? Let me go back to what I know and basically being a good patrolman.
Right. So now this is when we're nearing the episode, right? Where it's just probably like 5-6 minutes left, and we just get everything just closing.
That montage,
yes.
I loved it.
And I was just like, wow. So they didn't leave anything. I don't have Donette in the, in on the couch crying and everything. I don't have that,
Look,
but
we
we
don't
do
need her.
definitely, yeah, we do definitely see Carcetti, running for mayor. And I wish I would have heard that conversation between him and Tony, but we don't need it. But still, like, that's supposed to be your homie, and you ain't telling him nothing. Like, you just basically pretty much snaked him. So, all right, then we got McNulty on the
And
beat,
he faked him because he listened to the girl that was helping him,
Yeah.
the running mate. She
Is it
basically
Teresa?
him.
Sorry, Teresa.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So you got McNulty, smiling and everything at
And
his.
he's being that beat cop that they discussed in
Yup.
those meetings. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I liked about it. He's getting to know the people of
That's
the
right.
area.
Yup. That's right. Absolutely. And then we got Avon. Okay, and he's awaiting his little, his hearing in the courtroom and everything, and
Mhm.
he and
Look, he
everybody
said,
there.
looked
Yeah.
over his shoulder, and who he
Look,
see?
everybody is there, okay? And Rhonda is just, going down the list of charges. And so we
Hmm.
also see him turn around and he sees his sister there, but she won't look at him. So by the time he turns back around, she's gone. But look who the freak he see come through the daggone door.
Look, he
He's
look
like,
over to the left, and who he see? He see Marlo. Am
he like, Marlo? And
Marlo?
Marlo kind of gave him like a respectful nod. I don't know if it was
Like,
a
yeah, brother,
respectful
yo,
nod
look. It
or
was a
not, like,
respectful
yeah,
nod
nigga, I'm
because you know
making
why?
sure. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I'm just making sure you
Hmm.
you out
You
the
got
picture
it.
for good.
Look, he like you look. I want to make sure you make sure I'm good. So I make sure you good when you get out. Look, can you put a
He
brother
showed.
on? Cause they look the Greeks don't want that dirty money.
Mm, I'm like, what
Anywho,
is going out? What is going on? Oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. Like when Cuddy goes to the corner to find the boys, like, yo, what y'all doing? Y'all ain't show up and everything. And they're like, yeah, oh, well, we was
look,
this and that, right? So
training.
Fruit come out and he looked like he seen a freaking ghost, like he was scared for a minute, shoe. And Cuddy just kind of pressed him with his eyes, like, and Fruit kind of like looking, like trying to make sure, I'm making sure he don't do nothing to me. But I like that scene because it was kind of, it was satisfying to me. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember how I didn't like how he took his money, or he tried to play him the first time or whatever when he first came out, and then after that situation where he was about to kill him, I guess it put fear in his heart or whatever. So that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Marlo making sure his competition is out the way.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Right. So he just was like, so what time you want us to show up to practice, coach? And he said like 3 o'clock or something like that. And that was that. But anyway, let's see what else we got. So we got Bugs. Is it Bub? I said Bugs.
Bubbles,
Bubs.
bubbles.
Bubs is
Mm-hmm.
here. And he got himself a little protege and everything, showing him how to make money off of scraps and everything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
as he is going through this situation, we see Bunny down where Amsterdam used to be. And they, like he said, Bubble said, it looked like they just took an eraser. And isn't that crazy?
That's
Like
how
they
they
really.
though. That's how they do the black towns though. They've been doing this to us. You know, this is like a subliminal thing. They've been doing this to our kind for so many years.
Mhm.
Find out, and I know this is off topic, and I'm sorry.
It's
You
fine.
find out that Central Park was a town that was nothing but black people, black
Mm.
settlers, and they tore that up. They got rid of the black people just to put a park there for the rich people to enjoy.
Mm.
And they relocated these people, and this was their own land, their own homes that they own. So we keep
Yeah.
seeing this happening over and over again. And history is repeating itself,
Mhm.
even though I know this is like a show, but if
Yeah.
you look at Baltimore, it really look like that. That's the real deal, y'all. So
Yep.
yeah, we seeing so many things happen, and it's just like The Wire was ahead of his time. It just goes to show you.
Yep.
And I love the way they tie everything together at the end of these episodes with the montages. And
Mm-hmm.
then they have you have a moment where you have to sit back and reflect and think on everything they done of that season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how they remind you of everything. Like, so even if it's not a reminder and you're thinking about it, they make sure that they cover it. Like, well, this is how this person's ending went. We didn't forget about this person. And so that's it's satisfying to people that wonder what happens to a certain character. And then if you forgot about what happened to a character, they remind you, like, oh, we didn't forget.
Hmm.
And you have to be like that with a show like this because there's so many characters.
Yeah, and this show
So
was
many.
so slept on when
Yeah.
it came out. People, it's getting its accolades now, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when this show was out, when it was out in that present time, I feel like it didn't get its just due. I
Yeah.
I wish that YouTube was how it is now. Because I know if it was, I would have been reviewing the show like week for
Mhm.
week, waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know they tried to pay us back with doing the We Own the City, and I loved it because it was the same writers.
Mm-hmm.
But The Wire was basically like the the blueprint of a lot of shows
Yeah.
that's out now.
Mm-hmm.
It was the
Definitely.
catalyst. I'm
It
sorry.
is, and it's
I'm
no,
rambling.
you fine. You fine. I'm listening. Shoot, you could go on, girl. So,
Now,
guys,
yeah, season three is this is we going into season four now, right?
yeah, yep. And I was
Season
just about
four,
to say that.
Marlon Easton. Season
I was.
four, you gotta be on deck because we gonna be doing stuff. We gonna be doing stuff for this, and me and her gonna talk behind the scenes. We got stuff going on with this.
I was about to say, guys, we're about to start season 4. We're about to close this live tonight. And I thank you guys for all being here. We're back. Okay. We are back. And yeah, so season 4 is on deck. And we are not going anywhere. If I take a break, that's just a break. I'm not starting the wire, getting to season 3, and then just giving up. No, 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 no. We're going all the way through. Okay. Oh yeah, and I cannot wait because I was looking at the first episode, and to me, I'm talking about of season 4. To me, that's the best of all the versions of what is that? What am I talking about? The theme song. It's the best. Keep
Way
them in
down in
hole,
the hole.
down in the hole. I like the way the young kids. I mean,
Wait, why
because you
you
can
putting
tell
up the cat, young boy? What's the cat for? What we lying about?
you could keep. I like the fact that it's like the younger generation. So now it's a younger sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it. Anyway, guys, that is that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Moochie, for coming through.
Thank
So
you.
we'll see you
Yeah.
guys next week on Tuesday. If any plans change, then I'll let y'all know on the community tab. But either way, we're back doing the wire on Tuesdays at 10:05. And keep them. Yay. You guys have a blessed night. Take care. Bye bye.
Ew.
Ew.